everybody, Colin Christianson here with Tenacious Ventures at the Northwest Event Show in Seattle, Washington. And we are talking to several vendors and people passing on the floor, as well as some of the speakers on stage. But right now, I have Harris Francis, and he is here to talk about the United Indians of All Tribes Foundation. So go ahead and give us a little bit of a background, Harris.
Thank you, Colin. Thanks for the invite. Good to reconnect here, and we've been trying to do it for a while. And I'm with the United Indians of All Tribes Foundation, specifically on the Daybreak Star Radio Network side. I'm the programming director, so I have the opportunity to continue to build out the network with my team and continue to create greatness on and off the air for our listeners, our events. All of our programming, we do a lot of amazing things. And on the bigger umbrella side at United Indians of All Tribes Foundation, we have a lot of entities. We have homeless prevention, we have elders, we have multiple gift shops. We do a ton of events. We have 3 or 4 events in our grand, we have a large first floor area. So there's a wedding there this evening. And so we have an amazing venue too. You walk right out one of our main entrances and you just see a panoramic view of Puget Sound. There's nothing is between our building and the sound. So it's a nice place to come to work every day, and a great group of people, great environment. All the teams, we continue to help each other out. And because we're all one big family. But specifically on the radio side, our app downloads are continuing to increase. Our library started with about 126, give or take, titles in our library. And now we're up to about 13,000. So
that's amazing. I know you have a huge background in radio. So I know that they are incredibly lucky to have you, because you have a ton of experience in the space. Why don't you touch on that real quick, on some of the past of what you've done in radio?
Thank you. Yeah, I was fortunate. My career started at Def Jam Records. So I was hired by the leadership in New York to handle radio placement and marketing, and all my territories. So back then I had LL Cool J, Foxy Brown, some of the Run DMC material, Jay-Z, David Banner, Memphis Bleak. So just a great group of artists to work with, great environment to work with, and one of my stations that I was responsible for to get my records played, and to take the artists in for interviews and meet and greets and everything was Cube 93. So I spent about 23 years with Cube 93, and I fell in love with commercial radio. And it was one of the hardest decisions throughout my career to ultimately make. But I saw all the labels coming into the station, from RCA to MCA to Jive to Columbia to Death Row, to all of them, all for the same purpose, wanting to get their records played. So I said, I'd love to have the best of both worlds, where I could, be at Def Jam during the day and go to Cube at night. So for a while, I was actually doing that. I was doing the night show at Cube, and Def Jam loved it because they figured, they'll be able to get all the records played. And finally made the decision. I said, you know what, I'm going to leave the record business and I'm going to go full-time into radio. And, never look back. And 32 years in the industry now. And it's been a great run.
Well, and now, even with the organization with now, you obviously are going to bring some innovation, some new direction with all the level of experience. So what is the trajectory? What is the goal with the radio, with this organization?
Continue our app downloads, continue our listenership, continue to put on new radio programs. We're talking to a few comedians right now to host shows. Several of our shows are sent in to us from Canada and other parts on a national level throughout the country. And it's nice because, other markets, gain more traction. They get a better understanding of the Daybreak Star Radio Network, continue our listenership. And we're working on some really cool concerts and upcoming events. In fact, Kitty here is our events manager, and she does a fabulous job for United Indians of All Tribes Foundation. And very lucky to have her, very fortunate to have her on board with us. She's got a lot of experience in that space. And so like I was saying, it's really the perfect time, because, when Kitty is, talking to her, clients and engaging with them to have events, a lot of times it's nice to, have a radio network, right? Depending on the client, depending on their illustration, what they want to get out there, they can talk about it.
That's awesome.
So there's not a lot of, event spaces where you have a radio network, built in. That's not just focused on Seattle. I mean, we're an international network. So for a lot of brands, that's quite attractive.
Yeah. So that was going to be my next question is because the name itself implies that you're working with all tribes, right? So truly, this is like a global initiative for all tribes, or is it targeted United States? Or
So United Indians of All Tribes Foundation, we're obviously our own entity.
Yeah.
But of course, we have relationships with many wonderful tribes from Snoqualmie to Muckleshoot to Tulalip that we're in communication with to do events and vice versa. I mean, like I said, the partnership continues to build with even some of the smaller tribes that reach out to us that don't have a network, but want to maybe partner up on events or have an artist that maybe want to be featured on one of our upcoming concerts.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know we've gone in with our live video streaming company. We've covered some of the Nisqually canoe journey and the powwows in the past. And they're incredible contents, incredible events that absolutely, in my opinion, should be really pushed out with a higher value, higher content for video coverage and radio coverage. So it's great to see you really helping push that overall in the space, because there truly is unique cultural content that a lot of us don't get to see or don't get exposed to that's happening there, that really should have more of a spotlight on it. It's amazing.
And it's just so cool to just, behind the scenes aspect. And the reason I'm here talking about Daybreak Star and United Indians, I happen to be at another station, and one of the interns, producers, was answering their quest lines, and it was my CEO. He called in and said, I want to start a radio network. What do I need to do? And that's literally like how, so when people say like, expect the unexpected, or you never know who you're going to connect with, I mean, doesn't get more, more on point than that. Just to be there and, have my CEO call in, and one thing led to the next, and we started to construct and build the network.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've seen too, even the viewership of the shows that we saw, I was blown away at how connected a lot of the tribes are across. Mainly this was United States viewership, but we had global viewership as well, that it was just like 3,000 people tuned in to watch these live streams. And then it's being shared and talked about across the networks that are established there. And I thought, wow, like if someone can really go in and continue to strengthen these relationships across all the tribes, you have an incredible audience that's built in to kind of create content and allow more creativity within those networks. And so again, like it's amazing to hear that those are some of the directions and the moves that you're helping push a lot of the events to have, as well as this radio talk shows. Is just amazing. So what is the type of content that typically is on the radio?
We do everything from sports shows. Like I said, we're in communication with a couple comedians right now. A lot of music shows, talk shows, spoken word. We're in the podcast game now, obviously. So some shows just come in and that's all they really want to focus on is the podcast. Some come in and do their shows live. Some are are sent in to us. Our team. Pre-recorded because they're just, we have some talent that's on 17, 18 stations, up in Canada and here in Northern America. And then, one other thing that I wanted to highlight, just to kind of piggyback with what you were saying, is something that I've done throughout my career, something called the world premiere, especially for artists and artist engagement. So, something that I'm very passionate about on the Native Indigenous artist forefront is when a lot of these artists have new content and new songs, we roll out the red carpet. Not a lot of networks do that. So we'll put them on the air with us. Usually they come on my show in the 5 o'clock hour, Monday through Friday. And, we'll run our social media live. We'll put them on our blog, put them on our social media. So it's really called the Daybreak Star Radio Network World Premiere. And it gives them the necessary bragging rights that they deserve, respect to them for working so hard to provide us the content. And it opens up a lot of doors for them too. I mean, there's one particular artist that I'll shout out right now. He goes by Nige B, and he's been just so consistent, and he's just such an amazing lyricist. And the artists and the partnerships that he's creating are just so dynamic and beautiful.
Yeah, again, Well, thank you to you.
Thank you.
For basically to have that kind of spotlight that you can put on them and also help people really grow their careers. I know that definitely resonates with me because being a live video streaming company, that's kind of what we're doing. We're behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
We got the spotlight, we got the cameras, and then we really want to blast that out to the world to kind of let people know what this person has to say, the creative arts that this person has, to really know what's going on. So likewise, we're in a shared industry space, from live streaming and radio kind of stuff. So definitely resonates with me and what our goals and our initiatives are too.
And it's nice to talk to a friend, Colin. I mean, you know, you're a friend of mine. We share a very mutual, close friend, and it's nice to help each other out. And that's what I always say. The music business, the industry that we're in, it's quite small.
Yeah.
You know, we all know each other. You know, one road always will lead to the next. And
Absolutely.
As long as you don't burn bridges and you stay respectful and you stay true to the game and honest, and you know, you get ahead in this industry. But it's pretty hard to get back in when you screw up.
Yeah, it is. It is. You don't get many opportunities really, and you got to be humble if you do make a mistake.
Absolutely.
So with that, how do people get in touch with you? How do they listen to the show? Like, where do they go?
You can just go to your app Play Store, whether you're an Apple or Android customer, and search for Daybreak Star Radio. We have a beautiful app, and I'm convincing my team that I want to get some cameras installed in the control room. So when we have artists and special guests, and some of them are a little nervous about that. Some of them don't want to have their face on camera. I'm all for it. I love it.
Yeah,
so,
you gotta get them ready, because as they continue to grow and blow up, the cameras will come.
Absolutely. So yeah, download our app, Daybreak Star Radio. Our website, daybreakstarradio.com, of course, in partnership with the United Indians of All Tribes Foundation, and all the amazing things that United Indians does for so many people in the community, from feeding people to helping people with their bills to the beautiful event space that we have. So we're all about giving back, and we're going to continue to give back on all of our entities under our beautiful building, and I invite you and your team to come on by, and we'll have to continue the chat.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Got to get you in our studio too to check it out.
That'd be great. Thank you, Colin.
Yeah, thank you.